So excited.
Oh, welcome back to Bonded by Bravo. I'm your host, Amy, joined with my co-host, Jenna. And I can't stop giggling.
Yeah, why?
Do you notice anything different about me?
Lips? Yeah.
That's why I was like, can we just start? Because she's going to notice if I don't get it.
Yes, I can see.
Unless my lips.
I was going to say, or it's like that gloss is really good. But no you paid for this.
I did. I went and got my annual little half syringe of lips yesterday. So I'm like really swollen. And then this morning.
Does it make talking hard?
Nah.
No,
but like last night, like it's not like I could like smooch Meek or anything. Which is, it's fine. But then today I go to my doctor's for my migraine Botox and he fucked me up. I have like, I don't know if you can tell. I have like a bruise here, right here. It looks like I have like an egg.
What happened?
On both sides. I don't know. It's like sometimes if you're like closer to your period or whatever, like, yeah. So I'm just all bumpy and lumpy and that's why I don't have makeup on. The lips thing, like, I can't help it, but I love it.
I haven't done my lips before.
You shouldn't, though. You have great lips.
It feels like it would really hurt for some reason. I think it's only, and I've seen people right after you as well, but like two others, and I'm like, it just looks painful.
I have had, and I think I've said this before on here, but I have had so many needles on my face, my body, my back, my neck, my head. I've had so many crazy procedures.
Really are kind of like a lab rat a little bit.
But there is nothing that hurts worse than getting your lips done. And the chick yesterday did such a good job. I didn't really bruise that bad. But I also was thinking, so me and my friends were at brunch the other day, and I wonder if you feel this way. So I was at brunch with all my friends and we were all like, oh, did you get this Botox? Did you get that Botox? Or did you get this filler or that lip thing or this new laser, blah, blah, blah. And
I'm exhausted.
I just thought like, when you go back to Philly, I know that people in Philly obviously do these things, but I think I'm constantly surrounded because it's like, there's all these med spas here. There's all these quick Botox places here that I think I'm just constantly surrounded. So it's just like normal conversation. Whereas like my friends from Philly, I think I'm a little nuts.
I bet they do. I do understand what you're saying though. Like, I feel like I know things about like beauty trends that I wouldn't have otherwise. And sometimes I'm like, I kind of wish it was the other way around because it costs money for starters. But here we are. Like now I'm too far in the game that it doesn't matter. Like I can't just stop doing although the Botox that I get like in this line, like I'm not kidding. I could hold a fucking quarter during the pandemic. Like all of the photos. Yes. Yeah. Like it was rough. Like and it's like hereditary too. All of my aunts, my mom has it. My mom was the one that was like, you should start working on this.
And I don't know how to say this. And like, I don't want to look at your wrinkles.
Fair.
And like, not yours.
That's a hot take. Yeah.
I know. Not yours, but like, I'm sitting there thinking like, am I just not used to wrinkles because everybody around me gets Botox?
Honestly, yes.
Yes. Because then when I go to Philly, I'm like, oh God, are you sure you don't want to just like a little bit?
The thing that I've actually noticed, not so much Botox related, and this is like absolutely no shame. I when I moved to California, I thought I was just going to be tan and in the sun. Turns out not that warm in Northern California most of the year, so not a thing. But I feel like in some ways it's reserved my skin because I know in the summer that when I would go down the shore, the goal is, and like, again, no shade because I was doing it, that 100%. Memorial Day hits and you go and get that base tan, which is literally just a burn.
You're not putting sunblock on from Memorial Day to July 4th. No.
You're just burning for your base, but you're just frying your skin. And then by the time winter comes around, you can really see the like leather forming.
Oh my God.
And then you do it again.
It's the biggest. So I mean,
that gets me more than the wrinkles.
The amount of money that I've spent on laser facials to try to get rid of like sunspots that I have. My entire chest, I've even tried to do that, is like all brown freckles. And somebody's like, oh, I like your freckles. I'm like, it's skin damage. I'm Italian. I shouldn't have freckles. Yeah. But that part, the skin, I just signed up for, oh my God, this Jamie from Skinny Spa in Saks Fifth Avenue. She got me good. She's like, hey girl, you need 3 microneedling sessions and you need to do soft wave once a year. And that's $3,000. And here I am, just like, I do, Jamie. I need this. And
this is a problem though. There was a doctor that came out about have you seen all these red light masks and like, I'm sure yes, exactly. I'm sure they work and stuff, but someone did finally come out and say like, guys, we can't be taking every single thing that we see on the internet and putting it on our face because this product is good and this product is good. It's like, eventually you're just making it worse because you're just combining all these great products, but like, are they all for all your skin type? No. But do they look cute on your bathroom sink? Sure.
See, I still need someone to tell me like what steps I'm supposed to take. And I don't know if I trust Hailey Bieber to do that, but
that seems fair.
Yeah, like my skin's a little more mature, but microneedling, I do know, is the closest thing to getting like plastic surgery on your face. Also, if you would have told me 10 years ago that I was this person that was like obsessed with, like, if you would have told me 10 years ago that I got lip filler, I'd be like, yeah, right. Yeah. Or that I get Botox. I mean, I just never imagined, but you can't go back. You can't go back.
That's why I'm holding out on some things because I'm like, I just don't feel like starting to pay for that right now. I'm also like not that old. I'm 35 years old. Like I don't need to be doing everything right now. And that's something that I've had to, there's times where I feel so influenced to do something. And then I'm like, hold off until you're 40 and then let's like reevaluate here. Like I'm still in my 30s. Like I got 5 more years before I really need to dive into all of it.
And here I am diving in. I'm dove. I dove.
I also I gotta have like decent genes when it comes to like I look at my aunts and my cousins and even like on my dad's side as well. And I'm like, I think I might be okay for a little longer than maybe some.
I think it's
thank you, family, for that.
I think it's all like so when I moved to Costa Rica and I was there for a year, like sunblock was like a commodity, and God, I just didn't care, and I regret that. I wish I started caring like 5 years before.
I was like racing down to the shore to get sun poison. I was like, this is the goal. Like I was on doxycycline baking in the sun. We literally had to call 911, but I was like, but am I tan? And if I'm not today, will I be tomorrow? Because that's what's important here. And like at one point, I remember being down the shore and like peeling different layers off my face, and my face was different shades everywhere. But I was like, I think it's cute. I think we're doing really good. It's hiding my acne, so that's good. Also, I was like so much more round at the time too, so it was just like a red ball. Like it was so bad. I like truly don't know how I ever got laid. It's like such a mystery to me.
I feel like that, like I would never, I'd be like, oh my God, I want to get sunburn on my face so that I have like blush on my cheek.
It was so dark. It was a different time. It was the 90s. It was the early 2000s.
I used to put baby oil. On my skin and lay out back in a lawn chair.
Yeah, wild behavior.
Wild. And now these girls that are our age, like
I know,
like, I have
they're drinking
And they
green smoothies. They're going to Pilates. Like they're doing their skincare routine. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't even be bothered to wash my face at night.
I was just going to say, and sometimes between you and I, if I'm drinking, I don't always wash my face.
Yeah, honestly, the thing that's mostly it's because I bartend, I'm so used to showering at night that it's just a habit. Because honestly, I feel like this doesn't get talked about enough, but washing your face over the sink is just a disaster. It's just water everywhere, and it's like, who could be bothered? So now you want me to wash my face and clean up the water mess. How about I just wait till the morning, shower, no mess, and we forget, and we don't tell anyone that this happened.
I feel like you just brought up the biggest hot take there could possibly be.
Cut it.
Clip it. Washing your face at night, it takes me so many minutes to get into, like, that's one of the reasons today where I'm like, I'm not going to put mascara on because the mascara's on my face and I have to wash. And then the other thing is like how it drips down your arms.
I know.
Your sweatshirt.
I know. Yeah. It's really, it's a struggle.
A struggle bus.
So how was your weekend?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
You know how at brunch, probably not because you always have
You know what? You keep saying brunch and it like kind of has hit me. Like I haven't brunched in literally years. I can't tell you the last time I went to a brunch and got like a little day buzz going.
Oh my God. I feel like it's such a culture here.
God, I think I need to brunch. Anyone out there who wants to brunch with me? You're in the Bay Area.
I got to be honest. I'm such a good bruncher. I
believe it. I bet a couple glasses of Prosecco and Amy is here to play. She's taking stage at the table. She's moving seats around.
So that's exactly what. So my friend and me, we had just looked at an apartment. And Meek was like, I'm gonna go golfing. I was like, cool, see ya. And I texted my friend. I was like, look, let's go to brunch. And she will not commit to hanging out with me because she knows that it always turns into like a day. And I was like, no, we're gonna be good. It's fine. Like we don't even have to have a drink. So as soon as I get there, I'm like, I'm getting an espresso martini. I just want one espresso martini. So we were there. I think we got there at 2 and we left at 6:30 because
oh my God.
Two of us. It was just the two of us.
I need to know what this tab was.
It actually wasn't bad because we only ate brunch.
Yeah.
And then I had espresso martinis and Prosecco.
God, the headache.
But we continued, obviously. Okay. But it was just like talking shit for 4.5 hours and like non-stop. We watched people on both sides of us come and go, different families.
This is what dreams are made of. Just fucking brunching and shit talking for 4 hours. Like, let's go.
And that's what it was. It was so glorious. And I'm like, what was my weekend? It was so good. And then we like went to this party downtown and I was in sneakers because I was coming from brunch.
Nice.
And it turned into a night, but that was my weekend. How about you?
Okay, we went up north and that was nice. Did a little wine tasting. Yesterday though, my friend and I decided we're fucking doing it. We're going to see Dead & Co at the Sphere. So I'm like, I feel like I'm like trying to like, now I'm like on energy reserve until then. Because that's going to take me out for 2 days. That is next. So wait, what's today?
Oh, it's so soon.
Wait, not next week, the following week.
Oh, that's like so soon.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's kind of a split decision. Actually, Kyle actually made the decision for me because he's like, you've been talking about it. He's like, you're about to finish this class. So as like a gift, he's going to get me the ticket. And I was like, that's so nice of you. Also, it's your birthday today, but great. Love that for me. And my friend's already going to be there. So I was just like, you know what? I have been talking about it and I keep not doing it and like psyching myself out, but I'm just going to do it. And I think I might take a little acid for the first time in years. I haven't decided.
Oh, isn't that what you're supposed to do when you go there? Isn't that like
you don't have to? You know, I usually like, honestly, like Molly's sort of am I allowed to say this on air? Will I get arrested?
You're not going to get arrested. Who's gonna arrest you, Brock?
I don't know. I don't
Brock's
know.
probably like, yeah, that's what I would do too.
Am
I gonna get arrested?
I'm just nervous. Drugs, people don't like them.
The only people that wouldn't like them are your potential employers. That would be my only reservation in ever talking about it. And I don't know if you care about that enough.
Well, anyway, I'm excited about it. I was really hoping I'm like, maybe Austin or Andy will make another appearance.
How often do they play at the Sphere? It's like a residency, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it'll end in May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't think I could do it from a
Vertigo
and
I know.
motion sickness.
I'm a little like, I was like, do I take a Dramamine with my acid?
I feel like
I don't think
if you're taking acid, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
With that. I wanted to talk to you about this TV show that I've watched that I think you need to watch.
Is it called White Lotus?
No, it's not. It's called something different, actually.
I do want to address this, though.
Okay.
Because you kind of clowned me. Oh, we're doing it now. I did? A little bit. You said when I said I'm not like really watching for the plot, and you're like, what do you mean it's Mike White? But apparently he even responded to a bunch of critics online about people coming for him about the plot. So I was like, okay, like after I said that on air, I was feeling like really insecure about it. And then to see that tweet that he made or the comment that he made, I was like,
full interview.
Okay, so it's not just me. Like everyone is sort of feeling the same, like, what is this about? The whole thing is just beautiful to watch. And what he said was so on point. It's just a edging. Show about edging. Like the whole thing is just edging. And then the climax wasn't even that good, to be honest, but it looked pretty.
It's crazy because this would probably be my least favorite of the White Lotuses. It was I don't know why I'm disappointed yet. The first one I think was just so good, and it took us to a place where we're like, oh my God, I've never seen TV like
I don't remember the first one. I just know they were in Hawaii.
I just rewatched it, and the nuances and it's just so, we've never seen something like that. Like there's so many things being tackled in one show. And the second one, I think the anticipation was high, and we got to see Jennifer Coolidge again. But so we were back there, and people are saying that was their favorite, but I think it's their favorite because they don't remember seeing the first one.
Yeah.
And the third, like, oh, you okay, Raleigh?
Buddy. Hey, Raleigh. Sorry, that was weird.
It's okay. The third one, I feel like the shootout wasn't very Mike White. And that felt like, oh, now we're having like a gun battle. Like
I also felt like I was thinking that Guy Talk was gonna have some sort of, I don't know, major,
they focused on him so much that you thought like he's going to be the Jennifer Coolidge or the one with the big arc.
Well, I also thought he was going to end up being this like badass. Like at first when they were going to the fights, I was like, oh, maybe he's going to be in the ring and like no one's going to know that he's one of the most badass whatever fighters. And then it's just him shooting someone in the back, which is like basically like if you're in a fight, you can't come up to someone from behind. That's just like the unwritten rule of fighting. Like you gotta they gotta see you. Otherwise it's a bitch move. And that's how I felt about this. I was like, oh, there's no like redemption arc for Guy Talk. Why did we focus on him? But the redemption arc is him kind of pulling a bitch move and shooting someone in the back.
Well, I think the redemption arc was him now being head of security for the Thai actress. Like I think that was,
but the irony of that
is right.
But the irony of that is that he
didn't
was
really do anything,
pressured into that anyway. So he crumbled under pressure from her. So it's like he didn't even make that choice on his own. So I don't know, like.
But this is what Mike White does, where he like fucks with your head because he does this. He makes you love this character the most, and then you're like, he's so tragic and he's doing the same things, but because he shot that guy, now he's going to be head of security, even though he wasn't actually really brave.
Exactly. That's exactly it. He wasn't, and I was hoping that if we were gonna, the way that we were doing these shots of Guy Talk all season, that we were gonna get to see him in a different light. I would have almost rathered him walk away from that moment instead and put the gun down, and then him become a monk. Like that would have made actually sense to me as well, because he was going on and on about the Buddhism and all, and like how he's anti-violence and this and that. So I was like, okay, maybe we're going that direction. But nope,
it's also
he just
like
shoots someone in the back.
I also wasn't so surprised. Like I remember at season 1 and season 2, everything, like I felt surprised, and the twists and turns felt like you could figure out where they were like you couldn't figure it out, and this you almost could predict it in a way. I still think Mike White is a genius, and I still want to see another season of White Lotus. This was just probably for me like the least favorite if I had to rank the 3.
The one thing I did kind of like a little bit was when Belinda gets the money and then she goes to that guy and says, actually, I can't do it, because that's basically exactly what happened to her. So it was like the hypocrisy, but it was also like, once you get the money, all of a sudden, like, you can always say, like, if I had $1 million, I would do this, this, and this. And then you get $1 million and you're like, well, actually, I'm going to hold on to all of this.
And that's like, for me, that was the least believable storyline. Like, you're going to have your 20-something-year-old son. I mean, I get it. And I'm trying to go back to Mike White saying edging, because you're going to have your 23-year-old son go back to someone murdered somebody by himself and say, get the money. And then all of a sudden the money's in your account. And I get it. I'm trying to like not be so critical, which is, I guess, silly, because that's what watching TV is about.
Yes.
It just was my least favorite.
What was the show what was the show you were talking about?
Okay. It's called Dying for Sex with Michelle Williams and Jenny Slate.
Oh, is this on Hulu?
It's on Hulu.
Okay,
it's based off of a podcast that was called Dying for Sex. And it is it's this woman who was married for 15 years and had breast cancer. The breast cancer came back and was metastatic. And she said, okay, I have stage 4 breast cancer. I want to leave my husband because I've never had an orgasm and I only have a few months or years left to live. And so she leaves her husband of 15 years and goes out to find what she likes in sex. And it goes through all of that journey. But at the same time, she basically says to Jenny Slate, will you die with me? Will you let me die with you? Will you take care of me as I'm dying? As I'm saying this, I'm like, maybe this is not what you want to watch.
Heavy. I'm like, this is a lot. I think this is why I didn't watch it. I read the thing, and as soon as it got into like someone dying with cancer, I was like, nope, I can't do this.
There's something so beautiful that the story that's being told about a woman trying to gain her power back at the end of her life, as well as the female friendships, talking about women and how they feel about sex, I just think was so empowering. It's probably one of the best shows I've seen on TV in so long. Jenny Slate deserves whatever Emmy or whatnot that's coming her way. It's so interesting. So interesting. I also wanted to get into TikTok because
oh boy,
here we go. Do you know who Nikki Bell is?
Who?
Nikki Bell. He's the guy who does the fashion. He'll look at a red carpet.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Everybody on the red carpet, he's like, done, boring, not fun, fun. So you know who Max Greenfield is?
Yes.
From Schmidt. New Girl. Schmidt from New Girl. So he did a red carpet for Schmidt at Max Greenfield at the Oscars and was like, oh, this is your only Tom Ford suit that you ever wear. Like, we can do better. So Max Greenfield basically hired him to be his stylist.
No way.
Styled him for the Drew Barrymore show. Max Greenfield looked amazing. And I commented, and Nikki Bell liked it, and I
Oh my
just
God,
feel
look at you.
famous.
Wait, Stassi liked one of your comments or
Oh yeah,
responded to one of your comments. I'm
she
gonna
did.
like.
She did, because I know I'm like out here in these comments. I'm like, am I a creep? I don't know.
No, but I did have a thought about Stassi earlier that I was
Mm.
wondering. So I listened to the Bio Files this morning
Oh God.
with
Oh, I can't
Ali
wait to hear that
Luber.
pulse. Well, yeah, there's a lot to cover there.
There is and there isn't, but
Yeah,
she
I
was
get the
very
timing.
gracious. She was very, very gracious to James. With still telling her truth. And like maybe that's just not her spirit to
I'd
be,
say, yeah.
like vindictive. But the thing I was wondering when she was talking about, so she talks about Nick asked, did LVP reach out to you after the James incident? And she says yes, it wasn't immediately, but then kind of does the LVP thing that she always does and is like, this is just men. And Todd or like Ken used to be a playboy like this, and I had to rein him in. And, you should just go on tour with him. And, you were also drinking that night. That's the thing that like really, really pissed me off. And I just am curious, like, given Stassi's situation that she had with Sandoval, or with Jax, like she had really contentious relationships with both of them. And then, she is friends with Kristen. So I know that she knows stuff about Kristen and James that, Kristen has alleged, but we don't know for sure. But like, I believe everything she has said at this
100%.
point. And I just am curious if like Stassi had any hesitation or has any feelings now about working closely with LVP on this new project, given just her constant like defending of these toxic men. Because I would think, especially like I'm not a mother.
Right. That's
And
exactly what I was gonna say.
but like Stassi is a mother, and I don't want to speak on behalf of a parent because I am not a parent, but I think I would have a little hesitation working with someone so close and then maybe having to like, what if Hartford comes up to her one day and is like, oh mom, you knew all of this stuff about Lisa Vanderpump defending these white men, like they don't even have to be white, these men, and you
Well,
continue to
Lisa
work
Vanderpump.
with her?
I think
What's the
we were
response to that?
talking, and I
Is
think
that a hot
Stassi
take
saw.
or no?
I don't know.
Like, do you think? Yeah.
I feel like the response would be just like she is a mother and she's trying to provide for her child, and as sick as it sounds, this is where I think of Brianna LaPaglia, where money talks and money runs the world. And so Stassi needs to feed her family, and God knows what that paycheck was to get her to go there. And you can say what you want about, I'm bringing it back to Brianna LaPaglia, but she could have had an easy life. She could have not had to work for a very long time with the money that she was offered, but her morals are what kept her from taking that money from her ex. And not everybody has that when there's money involved.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Do you think Stassi has any feelings about it now, like in the wake of this interview or anything? Or do you think she's...
Oh, I don't think this is new news to Stassi. Like, you
No,
think
I
that
know.
Ali
That's what I
Lubar-
guess. Yeah.
I think maybe if she wants to like save face, maybe she would, but this isn't new news to your point.
Yeah.
Kristen, this was happening with Kristen. And I think Katie became cool with James after Katie knew that this was happening to Kristen. And like Ariana was cool with James, and they all knew what happened to Kristen.
Yeah.
I think, the other thing, I don't know if you saw on Bravo and Cocktails, is that her son-in-law, Pandora's husband, has been accused of a lot of things, and there's a few lawsuits. So
many over the years too. Like so much cheating.
And but also like kind of like implied forced situations and like sexual harassment and things like that. And apparently Lisa's been covering for him for years.
Of course.
But
that's what she does, is she covers.
But that's
I just feel
husband. Like,
I know. I think like I don't want to fault Stassi, I feel like she has enough money. Like, she makes a lot of money off her podcast. She does podcast stories. She's a 3 times New York Times bestselling author. And Stassi specifically so hates that behavior. Like,
Says who?
she just had the way that she's talked about Sandoval and Jax and James. It's always been with vitriol. So it's just shocking that she would team up with someone who backs them.
But I think that isn't like, she didn't say that. I mean, Jax was toxic. I don't think Jax was putting hands on Brittany.
No, I don't think that either.
And I think like, you can talk a lot, but if money's involved, that's what I think. Yeah. Like, you can have a lot of opinions, but when somebody's trying to give you a paycheck, regardless of if we think she has enough money, I'm sure she probably, like, who doesn't want more?
Yeah.
I just
find it a little, I don't know.
I agree. Like, oh, it does.
Yeah.
It is a bummer. And to think that, like, yeah, is she going to have to answer that for her kids? And I genuinely like Stassi. It's actually funny that I hadn't put that together.
Yeah.
It could definitely be a reason for me. I don't know.
It just put a bad taste in my mouth when I started thinking about it.
Yeah. And with that being said, like, Lisa Vanderpump, like, this is going to come out against you, and still it's not going to mean shit. This won't change her opportunities. This won't. And so people start believing women. Oh God, I could go on a whole tangent. Don't get me started.
Okay. Let's not. So there's a new show on Bravo, The Next Gen.
Oh God, I couldn't even watch this trailer. Did you watch? I literally couldn't.
No, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the trailer. I just saw. Okay. So these Bravo shows come on. We have feelings about them before. We had feelings about basically every new show that comes on Bravo. We have like this, like, no new friends kind of attitude. And so I feel like this one does feel different to me. And maybe that's fine. Maybe we are truly not the demographic for this show. Like, maybe they are targeting more 20, like, younger Bravo fans, as opposed to like you and I. But this one, I really didn't even watch the trailer. I couldn't get through the trailer. I have truly no interest in this Bravo show.
Was it because Gia was on there? Because that for me is why I was like,
and Brooks Marks, he also annoys me.
It's because he
gives nothing.
And it's like he can't form a formal sentence without his mom contributing.
But even she can't either. Like, that was like, like on Salt Lake City, like, she also gives nothing. I cannot believe she still has a snowflake. Truly. After the first season, I was like, well, we're done with her. And then, no, she's like 5 seasons in, and people really seem to like her. But her family is like, her family needs to be on the White Lotus, honestly.
Like, they have to be some sort of inspiration for them.
Yes, because there's like no emotion. It's just, do you have a dog too?
I'm dog sitting.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not excited about this one. I really am just waiting for them to tell us. Like, I want to get onto Instagram and I want to say, breaking news. Bravo announces Summer House moving to the city. We'll recast Summer House. Like, that's what I'm waiting for.
Do you know what I was thinking about for Summer House the other day? I was thinking, why don't we keep some of the people that we have in Summer House, like Jesse,
Wes, and Lexi. They're all in their 20s.
Bring Brian Benny from Family Karma. Why don't we bring...
I want new faces.
All new, but I don't think we'll be committed to all new faces.
We will, because we keep getting committed. We say this all the time. This is like going back to my point about how we're like, no new friends, and then Southern Hospitality comes. We're like, it is the best show on Bravo. Like, we can change. We said no, no new faces for Southern Charm. We love Molly and Sally. Like, we're so wrong in our feelings. Like,
I think you could do like a Winter House thing with Summer House. Like,
but I want it to go back to its original form.
Yeah. That's what.
But I don't want new faces, or I don't want like members that we already know because we already know them and they've sort of probably disappeared for some reason or another. Like I want more new people to invest in.
Fine. I can get along with that. That's fine. But you know
Thank
what
you.
I was listening to?
What? Also, go ahead.
I was listening to West and Jesse on this podcast talking about how they cast how they bring people in for the parties.
I love this.
So interesting. They basically have to send the invite to people and then they get a wristband and have to like check in the day of.
They also use Partiful.
I don't know what that means.
It's just like it's like a very simple like online like Evite. It's just an Evite.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So weird.
Also, I was listening to Aaron and Abe were on the Biofiles, and when they asked Aaron about Lindsay, Aaron and Abe from RHONY, okay. When they asked about Lindsay, like Nick asked about Lindsay going on Real Housewives of New York, I was like, when Aaron responded, I remember being on like a long walk, and I was like, oh, so Lindsay's going on RHONY. Like, I don't know what it was. There was something in the way that she answered, like it almost like she got stuck in like
she said, like confirmed.
Like she was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen with Lindsay, and I was like,
I think it's pretty.
Well, you did not play that well.
And like to think you wouldn't be asked that question. They have a new podcast too, Aaron and Abe.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Listen to ours. Ours is the best.
Yeah. What are we even talking about today?
You tell me.
I don't know.
Summer House. Let's talk about
Summer House. Oh my God, Paige on New York Times. Okay, girl.
Paige
also, I think so. Did you see they were all at the Hot One studio at Complex?
Yeah, that's
Paige is on the book tour. Do you think Paige is doing Hot Ones?
Well, why
she was the only one there. I don't know. She was the only one dressed, though.
Whoa.
And I was like...
Those boys were dressed.
But Amanda Paige was like on...
But I think that's because she was...
status.
But that's why I think she was probably coming... Oh, you think it's just her, not all of them?
Not all of them. And I think maybe she was going. And so Wes was like, why don't you guys all come check out the studio?
But don't you think Hannah would be on it with her?
That was like the only reservation I had about that possibly being.
Yesterday she was in that outfit doing press with Hannah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Things that
Hot Ones would be a cool one too. That would be pretty big. That's like I know. And like it's very A-list.
Now, yeah, that would be insane. The things that are happening for Paige,
it's crazy.
I'm here for it. Last week's episode of Summer House, you tell me what you want to talk about. I have one thing that I'm like dying to talk about.
Okay, then let's tell me that, and then we can go from there.
I just want to say, it was so funny. Me and my friend who were at brunch were like, you know, when you're going from story to story to story to story,
yes,
you're doing that.
And then you're like, what are we talking about?
For
how did we get here?
Hours. And I literally said at one point, and that's why I love Lexi. And she was like, what? And I was like, do you see the connection there? I just want to say, people are going to come out and say that Lexi's a psycho and that she's a crazy girl and she's this and that. But watching her at the end of this episode have the most mature and emotionally intelligent conversation I feel like I've almost ever seen without some big blow up with a man on Bravo TV was so impressive, because the things I would have done at 26 years old to a guy who was love bombing and gaslighting me, like, Jesse's lucky.
Yeah, especially with the love bombing. No one made Jesse love bomb.
No,
that was a choice he made.
100%. And then he's acting like she is some psycho because she said, I want to be exclusive. I don't just sleep around. And these are my expectations of you. Like, how she knew those words at that age. It took me at least 10 years of therapy before I was able to tell my partner what I wanted and my expectations. I just think she's a great example for young women on how to approach
The
little
way
boys.
that this is coming out so textbook is really jarring, like, especially because we already saw what happened once with West, and we talked about this already. Like, the way that these men have learned absolutely nothing is that's a story for another day. But him love bombing her, then it's like right out of the playbook. Love bomb, she's crazy. Now they're not talking, and she's the one that's nuts. He does like, and in the midst of that, he does something weird, and like the toe suck heard around the world. Like, I truly, I could be so naive in thinking this, and something's gonna come out, and whatever. That I really do feel like he thought it was like a funny joke, like he was being.
But what a weirdo creep.
But also, again, also weird. Like what Lexi said, she's like, either way, weird. I'm like, yeah, weird. But just like the way he was speaking to and acting around Sierra when Lexi wasn't there, and then for him, and then like that same week to make it exclusive with Lexi has a response, not even a blow up, and then she's the crazy one. I'm like, what? In what world? Like, this is so 2010s. You know, we've evolved 100%. From this, or I thought we did.
It reminds me of my 2013 and 2014 when this probably the exact same thing happened to me when I was dating someone. It was probably the only time I've ever been love bombed, and I got so caught up in it. Mm-hmm. And then when I started questioning things, it was like, whoa, like the gaslighting was astronomical, and we didn't have a word for it back then. So then I just was like going crazy because I'm like, this is insane. Like, I've been there for all the things you're telling me.
What did we call it? Like, did we just like
we sure as heck didn't call it love bombing?
Yeah, I think we just kind of took the hit.
The L.
We were like, yeah,
we were like, took the L. I was taking the L. I was taking pregnancy tests, and I'm like, oh my God. Do you remember that? I took a pregnancy test at your apartment, and you're like, Jesus Christ. I'm like,
oh my God. I don't.
Mom and Dad don't listen. Yeah. Really? No. It's like the only time I've ever had to take one.
I know. I've never had to take one either. Good for us.
Good. Let's knock on wood.
Yeah.
I mean, my eggs are burned and over anyway.
Burned. Okay, so
yeah, I just want to shout out Lexi. I think she's freaking awesome, and the thing that also annoys me is how I still find Jesse Solomon lovable, and I hate that about myself. That's why I'm toxic.
You know, honestly, she probably feels the same way. That's probably why she goes back. Like, he does have this charming. I mean, same with Wes. I mean, they are charming, right? That's how they got cast.
And it's almost like I gave West less leeway last year, but now this year with Jesse, who's I think done even worse than what West did to Sierra. I don't know.
I agree.
I'm giving him even more because he's like stupid, cute, and funny. Anyway.
Okay.
Also, we're trying to get West on the podcast, so
yeah. So West,
love you, West.
I've said what I need to say about the Wes and Sierra thing. Like, respect her feelings, but I think it's time we move forward and put that to bed. Let's talk really quick about
Carl. No.
Yeah, like this softball game or whatever, and Lindsay's reaction to, I don't know, there's a lot going on here, and I think we get to see how this explodes. Is tonight the night that it airs? Is it Wednesday? I guess.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Like, okay, first of all, Gabby sort of botched this whole thing with Lil because she got the timeline wrong. Like, she heard Summer and just like ran to Lindsay, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, you had no follow-up questions? Like, we just heard met parents in the summer, and so immediately you said 2 + 2 is they were hooking up they were talking in the summer before they broke up. And I was like, how did we get here? This feels like such a reach. And I was like, is there something I'm missing? And the only thing I can it seems like maybe there was possibly a girl that Carl had texted with an unknown number, but it wasn't this Lil girl, because Lil came out and like confirmed and like put the screenshots saying it was October, which is after they broke up.
100%. And the funny thing is like,
I don't know. The way Gabby did it was so desperate.
Also, it was, and like this is where you're like, Gabby, you're a producer plant. Like, can you try a little less to be so obvious about what you're doing?
Well, the thing that's strange is that if she's a producer plant, she's a bad one because this is the first time she's planted anything.
True. Okay. So the other thing that I think is still so weird is Lindsay's about to go off on Carl. Carl hasn't even kissed this girl yet or had sex with her. So she wants to go off, and she's pregnant in a whole other relationship. And she's about to go off on this man because he might have sent some friendly text messages.
I also don't really...
we don't want to gaslight Lindsay, but Lindsay's a little crazy in this one.
And the way her response to Carl's soft bar launching, like I've seen a few things. It's like, yeah, like he doesn't even have the space yet. It's like, okay, do you know how hard it is to get a brick and mortar together? Like to find the space to get it ready? Like you have to build some momentum. And so that's what he's doing. And I'm with Paige when she said, like, if we can support Kyle being a DJ, then we can support Carl opening a bar without alcohol. In some ways,
great confessional.
I think it might work because of the Summer House celebrity, that Bravo fandom. Like the Bravo fandom does not fuck around. Like we will show up. We will go to the store with pillows. We will show up at a Kroger's and wait in line to meet Craig. Like we are doing the most. Like we have an entire version of Comic-Con dedicated to Bravo fans. And like you don't think that the Bravo people in New York City are going to show up, even if it's not for the drink. It's to get a glimpse of who's here tonight, And
with the same point of like, Carl's also a single guy. Do you know how many gals in New York City, if they could say Carl's going to be there tonight, will just simply show up? Carl's 6'4".
Yeah.
That's all.
6'4".
Does height
I don't
matter
know.
for you?
I was really annoyed. No, we've talked about this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't need like someone super short, but I don't know. It's like not something that I'm thinking about. It's tattoos and a beard. Like, that's my version of
conversation.
Yeah, that's my version of height, I guess. Like if I could never date someone that doesn't have tattoos. Like it's just, I don't know. I couldn't. I'm just gonna do it. What was I saying though?
But you have. But you have.
I?
Simpsons shirt.
I think he even had tattoos. Probably Simpsons.
Oh! God, red flag. That was your love bombing thing.
Oh my God, that was a straight up, like, I don't want to throw the word around lightly, but that was straight up narcissist behavior. Like, I'm pretty sure he was like diagnosed, so we're good.
Yeah.
I don't think it was alleged.
That was my least favorite.
Yeah, same. That was an experience. Honestly, kind of happy I had it. I needed something. I was just saying to a friend the other day that, like, sometimes when I hear some responses online or on podcasts with women talking about just how shit men are and this and that, I sometimes I'm like, I feel like I haven't had enough bad experiences. I know that sounds so privileged, and it is privileged, but I truly haven't had that much experience with fuck boys or just any kind of fuckery. Like that was my only one, and it was like kind of fun. Like it was chaotic as fuck and like annoying and like painful at times. But thank God I have something to reference when people are talking about their trauma. I'm like, okay, well, I have this one situation. This sounds, I'm going to get canceled for this.
I'm going to cancel you. I'm thinking like my husband is the only healthy relationship I've ever been in.
I feel like all of mine have been, I mean, I had, ones that were like dead ends, but like they weren't like, I didn't like have any trauma from them. They were like, okay, well, this is gonna
Well, you know what? With all the other trauma that's happened in your life, maybe this was one of the places where they're like, we'll you deserve this.
Thank you so much. I feel like I probably wreaked more havoc than anything else.
I mean, that's what literally was happening in my head. I'm like, that's because you were giving everybody else trauma.
Yeah. This is like when Kristen Cavallari...
You're the toxic one.
Yeah. But Kristen Cavallari talks about this sometimes on our podcast. That's when I feel most seen. I'm like, she's like, I kind of was the heartbreak. Like, not that I was breaking hearts, but I was like,
I'm just thinking of New Year's, whatever year, when...
Oh my God, that was terrible.
The guy...
Honestly, one of my favorite stories of all time, though.
Maybe, should you tell it or should I?
I don't know. Do you think they care? Do you guys care?
I want to tell it because it was so funny. We were going to the Mummers Parade, and Jenna had been... Thanks, bro. Jenna had been, like, maybe hooking up with a guy, and also had a boyfriend of more than a year. And we're all just walking, and we were all like friends, and we were all kind of like hooking up with all of the friends, and it was very intertwined. I don't remember what you were telling your boyfriend at the time, but basically all of a sudden we're walking. Weren't you holding hands with him?
That was where things went really. Yeah, I was. And it was like, I remember the friend who I was holding hands with, it was like saw him because he also knew him.
Yeah.
And was like, should we let go? And I was like, oh, I mean, and then what? Like, what difference is it really going to make? And we literally like walked by him. Like, it was like,
was I there during the walk by? Yeah. And I was like, hey.
I think my brother was with us too.
Oh, yeah. I think I stopped and said hi, and you kept walking because I was like, this is weird. But nothing's happening. And nothing's happening. We just kept walking, and yeah. Okay.
The worst part though was the next day I had to work, and I came in and my ice wells were set up, and I was so mad. I was like, do you not have a backbone? Like, in what world? Like, why are you?
Because he worked with us, and he put ice in her ice wells because he always did that for his girlfriend, and he didn't that day.
Yeah.
No, he did. The fucking
he did do
it. Right. He did that day.
Yeah.
Which pissed you off. I also worked that day.
Yeah.
That was awkward as hell.
Yeah. But then I had a one-way flight to San Francisco.
Just a few weeks later.
Yeah.
That's how you got to do it. You just got to leave the country.
You just got to leave.
I have a friend who's like going through a breakup, and she said, like, how did you do it? And I was like, I left the country. I literally got a one-way ticket to another country because I didn't know. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
I don't know how to do this. It seems tricky. I'm just going to leave.
Running away from my problems? No.
Okay, let's just... I know, wait. We're like
Charm.
So all over the place.
I know.
Southern Charm. I know. Real quick, though. We get into a little bit more of Craig and Paige's like behind the scenes a little bit.
What did you think of Madison saying that Paige hasn't followed up or reached out?
I think that's fine. I think
I was
just keep it separate
because I love their dynamic.
Yeah, but I think it's fine. Like, when is she going to see her? You know, like there are different stages.
Never going back to Charleston.
Yeah, she's not going to Charleston. Like, what I did think was interesting though was when Craig said there were signs like she stopped coming to Charleston. She wasn't at the Nashville event. And I actually kind of remember that Nashville event when that store opening or whatever. And people were asking, like, people were online, like, she's not here. And then I think people were like, she's traveling with her family. Like, people were like in the comments trying to sort it out a little bit. And, sorry, Jesus. Things are a mess over here. And yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting. While there was all this conversation, this chatter happening online about them, things really were happening. Like things were sort of falling apart. So the internet was right. Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you think the next Bravo couple to break up will be? If you had to make a prediction. I mean, are there any couples still together?
I mean, Amanda and Kyle are still together, but I feel like if they've made it, I know, but I feel like if they've made it this far, like it's probably not gonna happen. That would be my. Who were other big ones? So.
Yeah, I guess there's not anymore. It's like couples, like housewives couples. I think Amanda and Kyle would be the one that I look forward to the most. That like the day that Amanda comes out and says that she's broken up with Kyle, I'll like have a mimosa in her honor.
Well,
I don't know why I said a mimosa. What did you think about them saying that everybody was afraid of Craig?
I sort of got what they meant. Like, I don't think like physically afraid or anything. Kind of just like a friend that you have to walk on. Oh, like he's in a mood. Let's like be careful what we say today. Like, I don't know that it's a consistent fear. I think it's just like when he walks into the room, you sort of get a vibe check. Oh, he's in a good mood. We're good today.
Yeah.
And then if he's like feeling a little moody, it's like, all right, let's like, if we were going to say anything, like, let's kind of, watch our P's and Q's or whatever. Is that the saying? Yeah. What is the P's and Q's?
Oh, I'll tell you, because I've looked that up many times.
Please and question?
No, it's like some crazy Latin thing.
Oh, so nothing. Okay.
The P and Q stands for something. They stand for, oh my God, this is so annoying.
Oh. Well, whatever. But I think that's how it was. I think it was just like, if Craig's in a mood, let's not go there with him.
I
wasn't shocked by that, though. Like, no. Craig is sort of like, look, I appreciate the growth that he's had. And when they're doing those flashbacks of Craig, it is like jarring to see how much growth he has had. But I think at the same time that growth I don't think they're wrong in that he sort of feels like he's better than them. And I guess like if you are bettering yourself and you're doing some therapy or you're drinking less or you're focusing on your career, in some ways, how do you not start to feel that a little bit when you're watching your friends do it? Yeah, I don't know.
But there's an arrogance to Craig that is making all of this, it's making all of this seem that's the bettering part. Like, you can better yourself and not be
totally.
And that's always been Craig, though. Craig's always been the one that's like, talking down to people, etc. And I think, I don't know. I never thought that I'd leave this season with Austin being my favorite.
Can you believe it? I mean, good for him. Good for him.
What a redemption arc.
Yeah, he really, I feel like this is going to be the version of Austin that we continue to see. Like, I feel like maybe his fuckboy era has come to a close. Guys, I'm allowed to change my mind on this. But I do feel like it's sort of, that chapter is a little bit closed. I think he's done a lot of therapy. He is in a relationship now. She's not on the show, and I don't know how much interest she has on being on the show, and I kind of hope it stays that way for the sake of those two.
I think it's interesting, like, as one fuckboy chapter closes, another opens. And it's almost like we're watching Jesse, we see the trajectory for Jesse.
Totally.
We know where it's going. We've seen it. It's almost exciting in a way.
Yeah, it sure is. Okay, real quick. Beverly Hills. I don't think there's literally anything. And the thing that really got me pissed off is when they said next week on the final part of the reunion. I'm like, part 3 of the reunion, we haven't even discussed anything.
Nothing. And the best thing that happened out of this episode was when Jennifer Tilly goes to Garcelle and says, is Sutton on anxiety meds? And Garcelle goes, we're mic'd. And she's like, oh. And the other best thing was us just going over all of the valuables that Jennifer Tilly owns.
Yeah, I
think that's the best thing I got out of this. And luckily for us, there'll be an episode 3 that we can discuss next week.
Do we even need to? I mean, I guess that's when Garcelle walks off. So maybe something crazy will happen.
It won't. We know it won't. She's just sick of everybody's shit, and she knows they're coming for her. So she's.
But you know what? Is happening soon is the Valley, and I'm so excited
for that. Yeah,
this is gonna be a fucking disaster.
It's gonna be so like Kristen,
it's gonna be a mess.
And the crazies that you're right. We can follow along if there's 1 or 2 people. Look what we did with the Valley.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we'll be back next week with an all new episode of Bonded by Bravo. Like and subscribe to Bonded by Bravo on TikTok and Instagram at Bonded by Bravo Pod. Follow us on YouTube at Hurrdat Media's channel, Bonded by Bravo, and you can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Until next time, friends.